Hey everyone, so today we are going to just watch a quick video. We're going to go over this fast on how to multiply by powers of 10. So the first thing that I think of is, what is a power of 10? Okay, what does that mean, power? So we have a base 10 number system, okay? So powers of 10 mean really any multiples of 10. So we're talking things like 10 is a power of 10. It's the first power of 10. We're talking 100. That's when 10 is multiplied twice, 10 times 10, right? And then 1,000, and you could even go greater. It follows the same rules, but for right now, we're just gonna focus on these. So something I just mentioned and keeping in mind, 10 is actually just plain old 10. So it's actually written as 10 to the first power, and that's called an exponent. 100 is, let me make sure you can see that. So 10 to the first power. 100 is actually 10 times 10. So it's two powers of 10 together, and so it's written as 10 with the exponent 2, or you can call that 10 squared. Okay, 1,000, and I can even put my comma in that number, but the number 1,000, if you think about what it actually is, it's actually 10 times 10 times 10. So it's 10 multiplied out 3 times. And so we can write that as 10 to the third power, or 10 cubed. So just something to remember, that when we read to the second power, sometimes they say that squared. And when they read it to the third power, they sometimes call it cubed. So 10 squared and 10 cubed, okay? And again, these little numbers that we're putting are the powers of 10, the first power, the second power, third power, and they're represented with this little number, which is called an exponent. So basically, today we are going to be multiplying these numbers, okay? I'm going to show you two different methods, and I want you to think about what one do I think is easier, okay? So I'm going to give you an example, okay? So method number 1, I'm going to multiply 2 3/38 times, let's do it just by this middle one. How about 10 squared? Okay, I could do that. It looks kind of tricky, but I'm like, wait a minute. 2 3/38, okay, that's the first factor. 10 squared, that's the second factor. But wait a minute, 10 squared is really just 10 times 10. Or sometimes remember it 10 with 2 zeros. Oh, sorry, 1 with 2 zeros. A 1 with 2 zeros. So another way to write this is just 2 3/38 times, let's just write this regular old 100. Now, method number 1, we're going to use standard algorithm, the way we've been working with. If I want to multiply these out, okay, I've got to set them up. This has 1, 2, 3 digits, and this has 1, 2, 3 digits. So I can put either one on the top. So 238, for setting it up, I'm pretending it's a whole number, times 100. But then I'm going to put my decimal in. Okay, so this is what we've already been working on. Now I'm going to, and hang in there with me, so 2 places after the decimal, 0 places after the decimal. I'm going to have to put 2 places after the decimal. Now I'm going to ignore my decimal and solve. 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 3, well, I like this, 0, 0 times 2 is 0. That was easy. Placeholder 0. 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, okay. Third row, 2 placeholder zeros because it's 2 placeholders, and now I'm dealing with this number. 1 times 8 is 8, 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2 is 2. So I've got 3 partial products to add up. because I multiplied 1, 2, 3 different rows. Okay, hang in there with me. So I add all this up and I get this, okay? And then my little alert's going off. Wait, don't forget about the decimal. 1 space after the decimal, 2 spaces after the decimal. So that's what I got, okay? So this is one way that we can multiply by powers of 10. These numbers like 10, 100, 1000, okay? Multiples of 10. But now I'm going to show you another method, okay? I'm going to call this method number 2. I'm not naming the method, I'm just showing you it's a second way. And I'm going to solve the exact same problem, all right? So 2 and 38/100 times 10. Okay, and here's all I'm going to do. I want you to think about which method you like better. So here I go. I need to make this 10 times larger. I need to make this 10 times bigger. Well, wait a minute. We have a base 10 number system. So if I need to make this number, this one, 10 times bigger, I can just move, sorry, not 10 times bigger. I apologize. It wasn't 10. My original problem was 100. If I need to make it 100 times bigger, I have a base 10. So I'm thinking about the fact that I have a base 10. We have a base 10 number system. And to make it 100 times bigger, well, if I move the decimal here, I just made it 10 times bigger, right? Now it's 23 8/10. And if I move the decimal here, I made it 10 times bigger and another 10 times bigger, which together I made it 100 times larger. So wait a minute. All I had to do was move the decimal 10 times larger, 100 times larger. I had to move the decimal twice. And now, when I move the decimal, I see that the decimal's now back here. So my answer is 238. So wait, which method do you like better? This one, where, by the way, I got 238 whole, or, which you can hardly see, there you go, see, or this one, where I just moved the decimal times 10, and I got 238 whole. Okay, so today, this is the skill we're going to be using, but I want you to think about which method you're going to want to use to solve.